Hey there, in this tutorial I wanted to show you guys something called beating, or the beating effect. It's a pretty simple effect to do, and it's kind of surprising that it actually does what it does. So let's start off by making two sine waves and two melody nodes, connecting into those. Hook those up, and let's hook up the first sine wave for right now. And this guy, let's type frequency 220. So he's going to have a frequency of 220 playing into that sine wave. And this guy, let's do frequency 221. There we go. Okay, so right now we have our 220 hertz sine wave playing in the output. So let's hear that. Standard tone. Now let's hear the 221 hertz one. Again, standard tone, almost sounds the same. Sounds the same to me, but it's actually 1 hertz higher, so very, very slightly higher. Okay, now comes the effect. Let's put both of these guys through a mixer into the output, and get ready to be surprised. Pretty cool, huh? So the reason why this works is sine waves have a range, or an amplitude, of +1 to -1, and so if you add two sine waves together, depending on the phase of each wave, they might cancel each other out. They might get quieter or they might get louder. Like if one wave had a current amplitude of 1 and the other one had -1, it would cancel each other out and make silence. If one had an amplitude of 1 and the other had 0.5, it would make it louder because it would be 1.5. And lastly, if one wave had an amplitude of 1 and the other one had -0.5, when they added together, it would make -0.5, so it would get quieter. So yeah, I want to show you guys something else. You can actually change the relative frequencies and get a different effect. So right now this is 220 and this is 221. Let's play around with that. So change it to 222. Got faster. 224. 228. 250. You can see that the beating effect got faster and faster. But when you get to an integer multiple of the other frequency, it'll actually sound harmonic and just sound like a regular note. So here's what I mean. If we go to 440, it's just a regular note because the other one's 220. And if we go to 110, it's a regular note, but it just gets quieter. So I want to show you guys another way to implement this. Let's get a frequency shifter note. Plug this into the sine wave, plug this in here. Now here, let's change the operation to add, and we'll leave it at 1. So what that means is, whatever frequency this melody note is playing, it'll get played through the sine wave like normal, but when it comes down this path, it'll add 1 to the frequency and play that through the mixer. So it should, let's hear what that sounds like. So, our old familiar effect. So you can actually still play with that. Make it faster. So let's put it back to 1. Then you can do stuff like this too. Instead of saying the frequency to play, you can put in a real melody. So let's hear it. Change the frequency delta. And there you have it, the beating effect. Really simple to do, but pretty cool results.